ladies and gentlemen, once again it is your host for Vlog Time, the Immortal Cave, and sayingwetrust.blogspot.ca. I shall put a link in the description as always. And I come here for three things, basically. The first of which is my Civ 5 project. It's going to be a little bit later than I expected. I said about a week. That's not happening. Just some things have popped up, and besides that, there's just quite a few different little... I want to make this as professional as possible, and I'm just not going to be able to do that as... excuse me. I'm just not going to be able to do that as well as I said in a week. In a week. As much as I want to. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's actually kind of a good thing because I've started using a bit different civilizations in different ways. You know, I've actually started manually controlling workers. I started using the Iroquois. They're actually really good if you know what you're doing with them. Very high production, and I like that. Anyway, the main reason I'm here is for two different things. Number one, the DMC demo. And number two, the Borderlands 2 DLC, Mr. Tourgue's Campaign of Carnage. Start off with the DMC demo. I've been a massive fan of Devil May Cry since 3. I remember seeing the commercials for it, and I just remember going, that looks absolutely amazing. It was my third PS2 game I ever bought. And it was probably the best early on game I had for it, because I love 3. Devil May Cry 3 is still my favorite beat-em-up of all time. Yes, more than Bayonetta. I know a lot of people think that's the best beat-em-up of all time. I still think Devil May Cry 3. Special Edition particularly. But, one thing I absolutely... I love Devil May Cry 3. 1 and 2 I'm kind of on. Most people don't like 2. I think it's slightly better than what most people think. But, again, it's been quite a few years since I've actually played that, so... use that judgment on your own... use that for your own judgment, if you will. Like that I haven't played it in a while. And 1, I don't care that much about 1. It's not bad, it's just that it's not my kettle of fish. 3, I think, just got everything right. 4, I do like. I know a lot of people don't like 4, but I do like 4. And, Bayonetta, because it might as well just be Devil May Cry, not. I thought it was a good game, I just think that it was a bit overrated myself. I enjoyed it, but I love the music in it, but that is beside the point. Okay, I love the music in Bayonetta except for the Fly Me to the Moon cover. Oh, Frank Sinatra. If I need tools sharpened, I shall go to your grave where you're spinning like a lathe. I just really did not like that track, but that I'm getting off topic here. The DMC demo. When most people saw the reboot of Devil May Cry, obviously the new design of Dante, nobody liked it. I think it's okay. I'm not a huge fan, but I think it's okay. It does its... Yeah, I really like the demo. You know, I think the gameplay is perfectly fine. I think that using the Devil Angel gimmick, because Dante in this version is half angel, half devil, I think using holding R2, you'll, instead of using the sword, which I assume is the Rebellion or the Force Edge, I'm not sure which, and the guns are ebony and ivory, you'll use the devil versions of it, which are a battle axe, a really heavy, slow battle axe, and like this whip that brings things closer to you. And if you hold L2 instead of that, you'll use, instead of the sword, you'll use a scythe, which has a lot of area of effect and really fast. Or if you try to use the guns while holding that, you'll go closer to an enemy. You'll whip them, but then you'll bring yourself closer to them instead of them closer to you. I think it's very interesting, and it's certainly really good for like combos, and I could see it getting really cool. So I am actually very excited for that. Also, just a few things in the screenshots in the demo you see like Dante getting a shotgun. So I'm curious if maybe like the whips might change if you have the shotgun instead of the ebony and ivory equipped. Just cool stuff like that. But anyway, No, I really like the demo, gameplay-wise. Graphics, it looks gorgeous. I think the turning the world into this very, oh my god, what the hell, no pun intended, world, I think that's beautiful. I'm very, very, excited for the game now. I wasn't that excited to start off with just because I'm not a huge fan of the Dante redesign myself. I think he does okay in the demo for the record, but I am very excited now. And I do think that after watching this, I think it'll work okay. He's not as good as the original Dante, not by a long shot. Well, by the original Dante, I mean from 3. 2, he barely had a personality, and 1, I don't think he was much better. And yes, I just said that. I know a lot of people always say that Devil May Cry 1, he had plenty of personality. No, he didn't. I barely... He said, just compared to 3, no. 3, to me, is just where Dante's personality got the best. 4, it was okay. 4, it was not as good as 3, but still good. But, I do think that the new version has a lot of possibilities, and he's a very different version of him. But I think it can work. So yeah, I'm very excited for Devil May Cry, or DMC, or whatever the hell they're calling it now. So I'm very excited for that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Mr. Tourgue's Campaign of Carnage, the new DLC for Borderlands 2. If you're a fan of Borderlands 2 and you've kind of been debating this because it looks like just like an arena DLC, like Miss Moxie's Underdome? I can't remember what it was called for the first game. But it's actually pretty good. It's a lot shorter than I was expecting, which kind of sucks. But in terms of what it does, yeah, it does it quite fine. It adds new challenges, it adds new enemies. Obviously, it adds another Invincible, Pyro Pete the Invincible, who's probably the most straightforward. Like, he's not a real gimmicky guy, comparably speaking. At least not compared to, like, Hyperius and the guys from the Pirate Booty DLC. But, I really, really, really did enjoy it. It's short, though. That's the thing, is that basically you go in, you try to rank up to become the #1 badass in the tournament, and first thing that happens is you rank up to rank 5, then Piston, who Mr. Tourgue flat out tells you is going to betray you, betrays you, and then you just you beat rank 4, you beat rank 3, it basically turns into No More Heroes. And it's pretty good at what it does, actually. I actually thought it was, story-wise, it was pretty good. The thing I loved, though, is the writing. The writing is genius. Well, let me rephrase that, actually. It's not so much genius, it's so stupid it's amazing. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's, if you've seen the trailer, I really do think that one line in the trailer, "I've got one question for you, and only one question, explosions?" I think that says it all right there. And that's also one of my favorite lines in Borderlands history. But, I love the DLC. I do think that maybe they could have made it a little bit longer. Is the only thing. Because a lot of it is just arena, not so much arena challenges, just like different tier challenges for, like, the bar fight challenge. And it is kind of an arena thing, but it's cleverly done, I think. But there are a lot of side quests off and off, and it really isn't just an arena. Just so people know, it is really good. Worth $10? Yeah, I'd say. I think anyway. But I really enjoyed it. That being said, though, there are some. I personally think it also has one of the harder boss fights in the game. The warrior wasn't that hard, the final boss of the main story, and the Leviathan wasn't that hard, the boss of the Pirate Booty DLC. The Piston's a complete sissy, who was the final boss, but before that you have to fight the Badassosaurus Rex. which is a giant Truckosaurus kind of deal. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass. That took me forever. Maybe that was just me, but you know. No, I did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed the DMC demo. I really enjoyed Mr. Tourgue's Campaign to Carnage. For $10, I think it's worth it. But yeah, that's really about it. Like I said, I'm going to be delaying the Civ 5 thing, but you know, I'll work on that. You know, it's going to take me a little bit longer, but I think it's going to work out. Plus, like I said, I'm still experimenting a lot with Civ 5 with things I haven't done yet, because I really do want to make this as professional as possible, and you know that type of thing. But anyway, once again, I'm the Immortal K of InsaneWeTrust.blogspot.ca, and I shall see you all later.